roast them already? Jeez.
Never been on a podcast before, huh? Seems like you have.
I mean, like, we're all not wearing ours.
yeah.
I just didn't want you to be left out.
You're in there.
Man, it's nice to have Taylor.
Man, it's very casual all of a sudden. Yeah, we just lost professionalism on this program. There's no professionalism on this
You're
program.
always so professional.
I know. Between Two Wrenches podcast, Cooper and Phil, and we have Ryan and Leah here. We're going to talk automotive, hand tools, power tools, and a partridge in a pear tree. It's Leah's first podcast, so go easy on it.
Happy to be here.
She just made me take my name tag off and
Thanks
called
for
me a
having
dork.
us, guys.
Well,
I'm fine.
I called you a nerd. not a
Nerd,
dork.
sorry. Sorry.
she calls it like she sees it.
I know.
too. It's all right.
But it does sound like you guys have been kind of part of this trajectory that Milwaukee is entering into the automotive space with hand tools and with power tools. Kind of tell us about. I guess we'll start with you, Leah, since it's your first time. Like, how long have you been with the company? And the journey to where we are today, where now you're a podcast superstar.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
You're blushing.
I am so nervous.
My palms are sweaty too.
It's okay. It's all the red.
You know, the better part was like, Leah's like, I'm just going to piggyback off what you said.
I know, we had this
it's
whole,
coming
like,
out guns
we had a
blazing.
script.
There
we
we
had
go.
this all
We had it all
rehearsed,
planned.
and then Coop was like, Leah, you start. I'm like,
That's
okay.
not how it went.
No, it's
not
not,
what we
it's not even
rehearsed.
written on here. It's
Okay.
not on here at all.
It's okay, I can improvise.
It's fine.
My name is Leah Balto. I am a group product manager at
I thought you were
Milwaukee
going to say
Tool.
Sagittarius there for a second. I'm a Sagittarius.
Libra, in case you wanted to
Libra.
know.
Now makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay. Anyway.
But
I digress.
I work for our hand tool business unit covering mechanics hand tools. I've been here 3.5 years, covered
Sure.
mechanics hand tools the whole time. So it's been really cool to see it grow.
Oh, would you like your own personal intro as well?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Oh,
no
you're
intro
on
needed
the
here.
show.
You need an
Um,
intro. Do your intro.
All right, so I'm Ryan Mack.
Ryan Mack.
I've been at Milwaukee Tool for a little over 12 years. So I've been in multiple different facets. About 3.5 years ago, I came over to work with the transportation maintenance team covering power tools, and it's been an awesome journey. Like, the industry's so cool. Like, there's so much to it. Like, if you unpack the history of Milwaukee Tool and how we got into transportation maintenance, it's super interesting, right? Like, we're super dedicated to our core trades. And when we started developing high torques and ratchets for those professional users, being mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, what we learned is pretty quickly, huge fouling started to happen on social media. These groups started like popping up, and it was like, man, we're using these tools all the time, and they're really good. It's like, wow, that's unique. What happened is we developed some of the world's best, whether it's high torque, ratchet, die grinders eventually. It was like, we should start embracing this. This should be a core trade. And it's been a really fun journey. It's cool to see the progression over time, the adoption of tools, the learning more about the industry every single day has been phenomenal too.
And I feel like, well, I know I can say from my space, but like, we were eager. I remember that, like, when this all started, I guess it was, 2016?
About 2016.
And I just remember, like, all my buddies, like, that, are in the trades, they're contractors, whatever, they all have red tools, and it's like, oh, man, like, and then all of a sudden, you guys started to, like, well, we get to use them in the shop now. And then that was cool, and, man, it was just like, when are they going to come out with this? When are they going to come out with that? Holy smokes. We can get rid of airlines. This is amazing. The ratchets, the power ratchets was just like, and I feel like it's kind of nice to know that it wasn't necessarily by design. I feel like you guys made those for like electricians, for putting panels together or whatever. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey, don't forget about us.
Yeah, now it's like the opposite. It's like not an opposite. Like, we still design stuff for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, but it's a full embrace.
Yeah.
We know that when we design tools or hand tools, we have different targets that we have to meet for all of our different users that we focus on, and we go build the profiles. We go do research with all of them, understand their frustrations, what they're looking for, and it's a very iterative process where we're working through, like, hey, there's the first time we get a prototype, take it to the field, understand the frustration. Hey, how does it work? What's the feedback on that tool? Is it what you're looking for? And then we take that back to engineering team, and we have an awesome team of engineers. If you give them a problem, they're all geared up, ready to go solve it.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And the speed in which it happens, and the I don't know how many forehead slaps. It's been like, I mean, this is another when the hand tools came out, and it was like, oh yeah, why don't we have these laser etched really big so that we can see it from
Or
damn near
square
across the-
sockets.
That's
Also,
really
yeah,
smart. That's
like
just
that-
really logical.
oh, now you can put a wrench on it to get a little bit of extra torque or to break it loose. Are you kidding me?
now you can set it down and it won't roll away to Narnia.
What? How come it's now? And I'm glad it's you guys. It's just that. Also, that wasn't your core. Not to shame on some of those other tool manufacturers. You know what I mean?
You'll have it this way, and you will like it.
Yeah.
I'm missing it. I don't know where it went. It's just gone now.
I mean, I think that speaks to Milwaukee Tool's approach to product development.
Yeah.
100%.
A lot of companies, we heard it this morning when Shane was speaking, that a lot of companies will make decisions just around a table in a conference room. They're like, oh yeah, this will work. Something that is really unique about Milwaukee is that, like Ryan said, I mean, we're out in the field side by side with end users, listening to them. We're not the professionals, you are. So tell us what obstacles you encounter day to day, what you're looking for, how you would improve something. It's a really cool job to have. I like my job.
I think there's a lot, we deal with a lot of different businesses and a lot of different companies and have over the years. But that is an art in itself, to be able to listen and then integrate those things that you hear and then develop from that. I think a lot of companies, like you say, they just, I'm sure that's what you want, but we're the tool maker.
Yeah.
So you keep being an electrician, we'll keep, making tools. And it's yeah, I know, but if you do just listen and then adapt those the little directions that are given, then it's it just continues to help build that culture, that brand, that phenomenon. People Milwaukee is more than just tools. That's for sure.
Yeah, we like to
There's
say
a passion level that's ranks right up there with some of the most brand affiliated, people. And that's the end user.
And you guys know who you are.
Yeah. No identity crisis here.
No.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we like to say we're a solutions provider.
Yeah.
That's the big thing is we go undercover problems. And when we focus on the problem, that's when we're the best. We can undercover the problem, say, hey, here is the problem we need to go solve for. Here's the process, the application that people are following. So a lot of our research it's very external in. We go to the field, we learn about a process and what a user's doing, how they're doing it, and then have them tell us that. And you learn a lot from observation that a user doesn't even think of.
Right.
Absolutely.
Hey, we're sitting there, and I'm going to give a little shout out to one of the projects we just worked on is you'd spend a ton of time when you're with users and they're looking for their wrench to change their backing pad, right? On a 6-inch sander. It's well, why are you looking for your wrench? Well, I need to change my backing pad. Well, why isn't it just integrated into the tool so you can just change it?
Yes.
Wow.
So some of the things are just
Innovation doesn't have to be complicated,
Well,
folks.
I think that's
I think doves just came out from behind your head. It was this spiritual moment.
those are the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right. It isn't rocket science, but being able to pivot is the biggest thing. But I was going to design it this way. Well, scrap that idea. Go this
And nobody's
direction.
feelings get hurt if you're improving on a product that's out there.
Exactly.
We're going to do this. Well, that's really smart.
Right. Yeah.
This will make this product better for the end user at the end of the day.
And it's really cool to have the end user go along that development journey with you. A lot of times when I first start working with an end user, they're testing that first iteration, that first prototype. They're using it for a year and a half, 2 years, and then it's so great to see the look on their face when I give them the final shiny packaged product. And I'm like, you helped with this. And oh, that was my idea. Oh, I made this suggestion. It's cool to be able to adapt and iterate, as the project goes along based on that feedback.
And the nice thing too is you guys have it nailed down. I mean, I don't know how many products you guys are able to launch annually, but it feels like a lot looking around this room.
a
This
couple
year's
of things
100
here.
right now. 100. I think there's 100 at Pipeline this year.
Okay. Yeah. So then you get a lot of that gratification from because in this room, I feel like anybody in any of the offices in our tour probably had an impact somehow on all of these things, and can point it out.
Yeah.
And that's pretty wild.
And everybody is enthusiastic. There was, not a sad face on the entire. I mean, I know they knew our tour was
They
coming
paid us
through.
to smile for you.
We're the same shirt too. Told you. But everybody that was, part of all the projects, from the offices that we walked by to the, the guy that was doing the VR modeling with somebody else on the other side. I'm like, is he playing video games? Like, and we're like, did they know we're here? Right. But he was, working on a model for a product. Like, everybody was just excited to be a part of whatever it is that they were working on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, tell us a little bit more about some of the tools that you brought in.
Yeah, so we have, if you, like in the history of transportation maintenance, right, I'm going to kind of tee up two products here that we have. We have way more out there on the Pipeline show floor, but historically we've been really focused on like service techs.
Yep.
Your traditional service tech, your mechanic, whether that's for automotive, over-the-road truck, diesel equipment, right? A lot of the times, it's a lot of fastening solutions. So it comes down to, hey, how do I remove and install a bolt, right? At the most basic level, but there's way more to it than that. But we have a next generation stubby impact on M12. This thing, we introduced the stubby category probably 5 years ago. And what we've done since then is really listened. Like, what is some of the frustrations with the product? What's happening with it? And this is the next generation of it. Not only have we doubled the torque capacity of it, so it was 250 foot-pounds when we launched it 5 years ago. We're at 550 foot-pounds now. So really incredible performance. We've also then increased the application speed of the tool, and then we've also then made the tool smaller.
Yeah.
So being able to get it into that really small space, that's really critical to everyone in the
More uses.
In the automotive or equipment space or wherever, allows them to get more spaces, and then even solving different frustrations, like the way you change your modes between your different settings is now it's one hand. You don't have to take your hand off the tool. You can just pull the trigger and it's going to adjust your modes for you.
That's
What?
fancy.
Let me see that.
Yeah, so if you go to your middle section,
Yeah,
pull
yeah,
the
yeah.
trigger. It'll
Does that one have a
adjust your-
tracker on it too? Because when Phil sees it, it may be stuck. I don't know. It's probably got put back over there somewhere.
So
put it in the middle.
we know that
And then up here, you see it changing
look at
as you're
that.
pressing.
That's so smart. See?
so you don't have to take your hand out,
When it's balanced nice.
get a
too.
second hand to press it. Now, if you're up in a section, you're trying to get a bolt off, you have
Yeah.
it in a different mode, and you need a little bit more power. You just flip it to neutral, double tap it, and you can get it to go.
I remember when, the cordless impacts, I was using it in the shop in probably, 2013, snapping every quarter-inch bit adapter, like that Harbor Freight would sell me. But to see how far we've come. Sorry, I was just going down memory lane.
Yeah.
In case anybody
I
wondered.
thought I'm like, this is brilliant. I'm going to use this impact driver in the shop.
So what happiness looks like right here is this man's face. People, take note.
But that is a really nice, just one of those tools. Another one just feels right.
Yeah. And then the next tool we have is, if you think of the automotive, I'm going to use automotive, and we use transportation maintenance term a lot. So if we drop that, it's really just the maintenance of things that move, right?
Right.
Well, hey, there's a service mechanic or a service technician, but you also have a body technician, paint technician, a detailer. All of them have very unique needs. But what we can do is, like, when we look at it from that perspective, we can process map out their workflow, what they do, how they do it, and then we can design, connected systems of solutions to go target them. So we spent a lot of time in some collision shops understanding, like, hey, what are these users doing? And a 6-inch sander was like one of those tools. I was like, man, we can't not go create something there. A lot of frustrations around the pneumatic hose, oiling of those things.
Oh, yeah.
The painters getting upset because the oil dripped out of the sander, messed
Yep.
up their paint. So we are launching 2 new 6-inch sanders this year. So we'll have a 3/16, really targeted at the body technician.
Yep.
So removing that Bondo. And then we're going to have a 330 seconds really targeted at that paint technician. For those clear coat removals,
Yep.
really a little bit finer. You're working on black cars, 330 seconds really helps eliminate any of those imperfections. And it's just an overall really good product. Got it really small, got it really ergonomic because we know these guys are shaping.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
know more than I do, but like shaping
100%.
Bondo, and it, like, you got to use it in your hand. You got to have really good feathering capability. You need
art
good
form.
RPM range.
Yeah.
So 3,200 RPM up to 12,000 RPM. Really targeted at going after that collision space
Yeah.
and the technicians that are there and solving some of the problems that we see pretty consistently in the shop.
Take that, air compressor.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah.
And then in the hand tool space too, I mean, Ryan had said that we sort of started in the automotive space by kind of falling into it, realizing that our impact wrenches had, quite a broad appeal, and really leading that charge with cordless, the conversion from pneumatic to cordless. And that really opened up an opportunity to fill out that breadth of line, really be that full solution provider. So that's what's got us to start looking into hand tools. We got into mechanics hand tools in 2018. We had 20 SKUs at that time. Now, by the end of this year, we'll have 530.
Holy smokes.
So we've been busy.
That's growth.
Yeah. Technicians use a lot of different hand tools. So there's a lot of solutions out there that, you need for just preference or any type of job to be able to adapt. So now that we've built out a good breadth of line to offer those solutions, we are launching these master sets that you see behind me here.
Talk to me more about these.
I know I'm trying to
master sets.
keep my
It's
face
the
by the
distance.
microphone, but then
Keep the
look
distance.
behind me.
No,
and,
you're doing great.
pull
Doesn't
over.
look awkward at all.
Can you be my
Totally
Vanna
fine.
White?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Do-do-do.
I will gladly look through this thing.
Well, we have a
Oh,
we
boy.
have a sample out here on the table. So each
Those
drawer,
are standard. These are the metric.
yeah, each drawer will have a high contrast EVA foam layer, but supported, reinforced with a durable molded base. Has handle grooves here to really help you lift it in and out of the drawer, take around with the shop. We see EVA foam growing, and it just looks pretty and nice to organize everything, and that high visibility helps you spot a missing tool really quickly. One
Speaking
thing,
of missing tools,
Yeah,
better
we're
keep,
gonna-
keep
What?
a,
Oh,
I was
keep an
keeping an
eye.
eye.
Oh, you
Yeah.
guys paying attention to me?
Keep an eye down there.
That's where I'm supposed to create a diversion. Was that create diversion? Oh no, I've lost
Nope.
my notes.
That wasn't on the paper.
No, it was not.
but yeah, so once you have that EVA foam tray filled with tools, it kind of droops if you're trying to take the whole thing out. So adding that reinforced base is
Yeah.
really helpful. But this master set here is 366 pieces. We're integrating it with our pack out system too, which is really nice to give you that versatility. This is a good starter set for apprentices, but it's also
Absolutely.
a good mobile workstation on the dolly. Take it from bay to bay, have everything you need. Got all of your chrome sockets up top here, combination wrenches. Oh yeah, wait, let's all pause while you,
Hang on. I got to get a bigger one.
okay.
All right, here we. Oh, the show comes
Man.
complete with its own sound
That's-
effects. We don't even need the hot button that's on
Do you
the
want to
old
guess
mixer
how
over
many
there.
teeth are in that bad boy?
70. 90.
144.
Oh,
What?
you were way off.
Oh, man. I just think of all the. Man, I don't even have to move
your
it.
excitement
Right?
level is
What? It's just-
unparalleled.
I love tools, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
That
gives
was my
you-
face when I heard open bar last night. It was
Right?
the exact same excitement. Like, what? You're going to do what? I love
I've
it.
been practicing my whole life for this moment.
Turn my hat on backwards like Sylvester Stallone and over the top. I was ready to go.
Yeah, that bottom drawer stack will have just a variety of different other hand tools that you need. You got pliers, hammers,
Oh,
hex
yeah.
keys, screwdrivers. Oh,
The long reach.
yeah, and it has the
What are you
double
showing?
cross handle.
Tell me about the double cross handle.
Oh, I would love to. So, normal single jointed pliers
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
they'll start here and then they'll open
Yeah.
wider, right?
Yeah.
At this joint.
Yeah.
You have double joint pliers that help you
Yeah.
maintain that profile, but then you lose the grip strength because you have to go through two joints then. So we
Right.
have the best of both worlds here with this cross handle design, giving you that slimness all the way down. Even when you open it, it actually gets slimmer. So you can see the jaws are pretty much wide open here, but you have about 6.5 inches of access to be able to reach down into those tight spaces. So
it's like everything that I've ever used, and you guys are like, hold my beer. Watch this.
For my next number. Ta-da! Also, are your fingernails painted the same Milwaukee red? Is that okay? They were just meshing right in with the handle of
it
that.
had to be on brand.
I like that. On point. Nobody told me. I mean, I would have gone full in. I'm committed, or should be committed.
Next year,
Yeah.
we'll match.
I think it also just speaks to like how we look at it and say, hey, we're a solutions provider.
Right.
And we want to look at it from not only the moment like we entered the space, but it's a journey. It's a journey that never ends for us. That we're going to continue to stay on for this space, and this like we'll maintain our focus and make sure we continue to listen to frustrations and always listen and bring that information from what people are saying in the field internally, and then how do we solve those needs going forward.
Yeah.
So I think it's like just an overall testament. So
and you heard a lot of that, I think, this morning. We're just getting started. I mean, this isn't like, oh, we've mastered this, now we can move on. I mean, obviously you move on to the next thing, but this is always on the table to be improved upon. That's the, I think the enthusiasm, especially in the automotive space.
Yeah, that's the job. Maybe that's what I'm seeing. Like, it isn't, we have to hurry up and get some tools made. It's like our job is this process that you guys have mastered, and it's clear, and it's awesome to witness firsthand at this event.
Well, and even when you launch something, we don't settle there, like we're constantly looking for opportunities to go back and refresh. I mean, how many generations of impact wrenches have we come out with, right? So it's not resting on our laurels. Is that the right?
Yeah,
you're
good.
I think
Okay.
that's the
All
one.
right,
You did good.
cool.
If not, we'll edit in
I
something
don't really know
that
what a
sounds better.
laurel is, but
Ah,
I
don't
hear
rest
people
on 'em.
say that.
Please, whatever you do.
You shouldn't rest on
Stay
them.
awake around them laurels. So I've heard.
But yeah, just continuing to move with the trends, the industry trends, and meet different needs, and continue to iterate and get better.
Yeah, no, that's clear.
I think we'll kind of wrap on this question is pipeline, obviously the reason that we are here and we get to see the internal enthusiasm that everybody that works at Milwaukee has for the brand. What is your guys' favorite part of this event? I know that a lot goes into it, and then it almost feels like next year's being planned already. But as far as the day itself and the days surrounding it, like what are your favorite parts about pipeline?
Go ahead, Leah.
My favorite part about pipeline and trade shows as well is just seeing the excitement from everyone. On the product team, I'm working on these projects from when they're just an idea. It's maybe not even a concept yet. It's, hey, we know we have this problem. We don't know how we're going to solve it, but we're going to figure it out. And then you work side by side with teams. You work so hard to make it perfect, and then events like this, you have the final product. You're there. You're so proud of it. You get to talk about it and see that excitement from everyone else, and it just is like the most rewarding experience.
That's cool.
Yeah, I would echo that. I think it's kind of like a product manager's Super Bowl a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's also like the people, the relationships. Like that's what also makes it so special is we get to come do events like this, talk to different people, because you guys are like blacklisted from seeing new products, right? Until they're announced.
Right.
We work with a ton of users.
That's not live.
That's
not
actually a
live.
pretty long
That's
list.
not the only thing that.
Yeah. But we get to work with a lot of users, and you see their excitement build, and then this is like the grand reveal.
Yeah.
But it's like having a really good group of people with us to like kind of celebrate a little bit of success. But you have your whole team there. We bring engineering teams in, so they get to see the setups and stuff later on. So it's just a really cool like buildup of like events, and it's awesome, and it's made possible by the people we have.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
And we have the rest of the day to go play.
I know.
Yeah. And then tonight to
Do some more of that.
Just hang out,
Right.
hang out.
drink water.
So
Yeah.
you get to play with
Hydrate.
big kid tools now.
Yes.
And then later on, you get to play with drinks. See?
Yeah, the man's got it
we'll
planned
take
out.
it.
Well, thank you guys for taking time out. It's an exciting
absolutely.
time. We'll get you back on the floor, and but we'll be joining you this time, and that's
That's a wrap.
that's a wrap.
Awesome.
This
Thank
is
you
a
guys.
wrap. No, I'm not. I won't bust it.
Do it.
No.
Check out my hook.
Hop, hip, hip. Oh, get out of here.
Thank you guys so much for having us.
Thank
This
you.
is
bet.
awesome.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
All right,
it.
between two
Also, you
wrenches.
forgot to take notes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, write that down.
Oh, I meant to ask. Is this based on Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis?
Well, it definitely came
Okay.
into mind. Absolutely.
Yeah. I saw
just made sense.
Saw the name of the podcast. I was like, oh, that's good. That's funny. I like that.
Well,
Man.
Now you just need
Those guys
two
are plenty.
giant wrenches to have on either side of you.
We thought about it, but we were
Yeah.
told to keep it PG, and there was, the ambiance is a little like, whoa, that's
need a
weird.
Game of Thrones out of wrenches.
If only we knew people that
Right.
could innovate and make and create products, even in prototype.
Next year pipeline. We'll make a throne.
Throne of wrenches. All right, we're out of here for real this time.